Sweet mother of mercy, this is what you do on... Okay. Okay, so... Here's the deal. And I didn't even realize. Now we're live. We just start... Okay, so here's the deal. I'm playing Hearts of Iron 4, but with a twist. An April Fool's twist. A Warhammer 40k twist. Think Blood for the Blood God versus For the Emperor! We're getting to that. Right now we're just going through some of the regular old Griffonian Empire lore for Equestria War, which is a mod, a big, chunky mod for Hearts of Iron 4. I recommend it and the game. Now the Emperor has returned from his trip home and, well, it's not looking too good for him. His days are numbered. But before his days are numbered, let's check in on... Let's see, what else can we do around here? Air superiority? Why the fuck not? Alright. Okay, so I got the Griffonian Empire buffed up to max. Just to make things, gave them buffs just to make things interesting. Because I played this nation many times. Both regularly and with April Fools. Well, mainly regularly. Okay, so here we are. What are we gonna do? Yeah, I know this Veed is... Yeah, this is a game... Hearts of Iron 4 is a game that's built for widescreen, not portrait. Yeah, it's built for landscape orientation, not portrait. But thankfully, you can still see the events. And I'll make sure to aim the camera at key battles and stuff whenever I can. Also, look at me. Look at me. I look like a hologram. I love what I've done with the camera. Anyways. Project Crystal Throne. A call from Yale has reached the Imperial Palace, and it has sent the court into a frantic scramble. The University of Gamia has just informed us that they've been working on a secretive project that is nearing completion. The project is concerned with offering life support, and indeed, revitalization for the severely ill. Due to the massive power requirements needed, the project has not managed to finish the clinical stage, and it is only the Emperor's critical condition that has made the researchers offer their aid. The suggestion is extraordinary, absurd almost, but they are offering to attempt putting His Majesty into the device they have developed and empowering it with all the magic that the Empire can spare. If their calculations are correct, His Majesty may well recover from his long-standing illness. There's no way of knowing what the side effects will be. Their experiments thus far have been limited to rodents and the like. But as His Majesty is fading fast, maybe it should be considered? If there is even a sliver of a chance, we must do it! Normally, the Emperor of the Griffonian Empire dies due to his long-standing illness that plagued him since his early days. But this time, things are taking a turn. Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment. Where it begins! Okay, let me up. There we go. Oh, this is so exciting. Alright. When the explosion had rocked the palace and the scream that echoed across the city... Wait. Okay. Sometimes the grammar in these events can be... It can miss sometimes. I know I have to check on the grammar of my own writing more often than not. And the spelling. And the misuse of words. When an explosion had rocked the palace and a scream had echoed across the entire city, every eye in Griffinheim had turned to stare towards the center of Imperial might. Confusion and shock had been the first response as the thick, bellowing fog spewed forth from it to slowly begin to engulf the entire city. Air raid sirens had begun to wail, accompanied by the clanging of metal on metal, as the sight of the wheezing, blood-choking griffs that stumbled out of it delivered the next response. Panic. Chaos followed, and griffs fled in panic away from the deathly mist that had swallowed the palace and threatened to engulf the entire city. Hundreds of thousands ran to tens of thousands died. And as the evening began to fall, the entire city was blanketed in gas and death. To make it even worse, attempts to fly over the city has ended in failure, as the Imperial Palace radiates with ominous light, like a terrible eye in the darkness covering the Imperial city. No creature knows what is going on, but the Imperial Guard are donning protective gear and are desperately trying to re-enter the city. Their gas masks offer only meager protection, but though they choke and die one after the one, any attempts to call them off have been ignored, or indeed greeted with active hostility from the Diamond Dogs of the Guard. Yet for the rest of the Empire, there is only chaos, as the heart of Griffonia has been torn out, leaving the body to slowly die. That's a big debuff. We now have a poisoned capital. With the Emperor's condition deteriorating, scientists from Gamia University offered to attempt to stabilize him using their new project, Project Crystal Throne. It was meant to magically give the Emperor the vitality to return from the brink. Yet instead, it has created chaos. It appears as though the device overheated and a magical fog has descended on Griffinheim, blanketing it in a toxic gas. The Imperial Guard is trying to reach the palace through the fog, but no Griff knows what is going on. Cults above, what's happening? What's going on? Oh no! Barbarians, no! Okay, we're good. The fracturing. With the near-complete loss of the Imperial government, the Empire's constituent parts are breaking away from one another. Pardon me, my nose is itchy. There is barely even enough of a state left to put up the pretense of a government. And when the Imperial Claw no longer provides guidance, the nations of the Hearstland have to find it themselves. All that is left is the region of Griffinheim itself, a city covered in gas, and a countryside flooded with refugees. Is this the end of the Empire? Now here we are. Here we are, baby. Okay, good. You all can see it. It's a long event, so I had to double check. Only in death does duty end. Keep moving, dogs! We're almost there, the sergeant yelled, even as he was left coughing hard enough that a metallic taste filled his mouth. The griffins had long since fallen behind, choking to death on the poison. Yet the surviving diamond dogs had kept moving. A trail of death had been left in their wake, soldier after soldier dropping dead. But they didn't care. Every bone in their body, every breath in their burning lungs, and every trembling step they took all drove them towards a singular purpose: to find the Emperor. The great doors of the throne room towered in front of them. The 20 still living dogs pushing against them in desperation. Their muscles heaved, adrenaline surged through their bodies, and blood seeped from their lips as the doors slowly were forced open with a groan like the very doors of Tartarus. And suddenly, all was quiet. The poisonous fog receded, and the dogs stepped slowly into the chamber and towards the light. Before them sat the Emperor, wreathed in a gloria of golden light. All was quiet, and the dog stumbled towards him in dazed reverence. Removing his gas mask, the sergeant fell to his knees as tears began to stream down his face. They had done it. They had reached him. Then the Emperor's eyes opened, the light turning blinding as he looked straight at the sergeant. Loyalty is indeed the purview of your kind, dogs of Bronze Hill. The booming voice reverberated through the chamber, loudly enough that the sergeant would have recoiled had he not been frozen in the spot along with the soldiers. A wave of strength filled him, and the golden light reached out to touch him. You will be vigilance unending. You will be duty unstinting. You will be punishment inescapable. Today, you become the bronze custodians, and all shall fear your wrath. The Emperor's voice rang in their ears as the glow encased them, stripping away their tattered uniforms and worn gas masks, leaving behind bronzed armor thicker than any iron paws. When the force holding him in place vanished, the sergeant gasped, looking down at his paws before he looked up at the Emperor again. Bring my ministers before me, custodians, for there is much to do. We are now the Imperium of Griffin kind. Okay, you know what? Now that we're here at this point, let's get some proper music, shall we? And I dare say that we're in good health. Now let's see. Imperium of Man music. No. That's for Holy Terra. Canes for the Imperium. Oh, that's just great. Playlist. We need a playlist here. Oh. No. Feel the full playlist. No. It's gotta be thematic. Alright, we should be good. Hold on. Hope. Hey. I'm playing this music straight from the, Yep. This'll do. Shout out to Robert Renato. Here's a link. There we are. Oh, just the volume is needed. Take care of the traitors. Let's start by clearing out the traitors. Here, I want to read this. I want to read this to y'all. The masks are torn off the griffins of the Hearstland, and countless have been found to be self-serving. self-serving wretches loyal only out of convenience. It will be drawn out and it will be painful, but the ranks of our armed forces and our society must be purged of treason, no matter the cost. And now we have the first event. The mad savant of Gamia, Belisar Bolzan. You were aware of what would come to pass when I was put into this device, were you not? The Emperor asked the old scientist that kneeled before him. The wide-eyed old Griff had been tracked down to the basement in Gamia, where he had been hiding, and dragged before the Emperor. Yet unlike all the others who had come before him, he was not struck mute, instead only cackling like a mad Griff. It came to me in a dream. I spent years upon years stumbling in the dark, yet insight came to me. The gods granted me insight into the machine, and I saw how to make you what you are today. He stared up at the Emperor in manic glee, raising his claws and pleading towards him. But my Emperor, I offer you more than this. Give me only a chance to serve, and I shall make your forces the greatest in Griffonia. Nay, the world. I will sheathe your warriors in armor unlike any other. I will arm them with weapons to break all that stand before them. You, the son of the Empire, will have 1,000 brightly shining stars surrounding you. Just give me the tools, and I shall conjure everything you can imagine, and make every machine in the Hearstland sing your praises. So be it. I name you Arch-Rector Dominus, and in your claws, the Imperium's technology of war shall be reborn. Rise, Arch-Rector Dominus Belisar Bolzan, and tell me what you need. The machines sing the Emperor's praise. Oh man, it's getting good already. That takes care of Magna Purgatio. It does not matter what pits they have scurried off into. Those who fled the Empire the first chance they got will be found, and they will be dragged back to Griffinheim, and they will answer for their actions. Alright, here we go. I needed water, and I needed it bad. Yeah, I am doing a delay. So it'll take a bit for me to see text and see messages and such. First time streaming in a long time. First time streaming on YouTube. To most, Belisar Bolzan was a mad griff. He had spent years hidden away in his laboratory after his experiments had proved too much for even Gamia. It had been as an act of grace towards what most had thought was a dying old madgriff that had allowed him to carry out the Crystal Throne project. When it had proven successful, however, It had changed everything. Now, his deranged inventions were actually proving themselves, and his title of Arch-Rector Dominus has overwritten even the Rector Magnificus, aka this guy. Shuffling back and forth in front of the table, the Arch-Rector watched as his chemicals worked on the grip upon it. The narrow-minded fools behind him had whined and complained, but the Emperor's word was with him, and he had gotten his way at last. The results could not be more obvious, he thought, as he saw the test subject slowly wake up, blinking as he sat up. His body had transformed, being much greater in size than before. The slabs of Turn it down just a little bit. The slabs of muscles covered him, and as he rose up, he towered almost half a meter above even the tallest of the scientists. "Arm him," Belisar ordered. His assistants came up, carrying the armor that had been prepared exactly according to his specifications, and began to arm the knight. It all passed in almost reverent silence, like a sacred ritual. When they were done, the knight in front of them stood in armor unlike any seen before. Armor made of thick ceramics and steel plates, wholly sealed and resistant to anything any regular soldier could unleash upon them. Lastly, he was given his weapon, a short machine gun, designed to fire rounds that no regular grip could handle, and yet be wielded with speed and agility. As the Emperor is our son, you are the countless stars sharing the sky with him, Belisar told his magnificent creation. He looked out through the chamber, watching the hundreds of knights that lay in row upon row throughout the chamber, all of them waking up. Welcome to your destiny, first of the Star Knights. Yes, these are Griffin Space Marines. I am not joking. Star Knights, Space Marines. Space Marines. Space Marines. Well, technically Thunder Knights, but you get the idea. Just gonna check and make sure there's not any new tech. No? Okay. Just making sure. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. New equipment. Oh, yes. The Bolzengrer. The Bolzengrer. The creation of the mad genius Belisar Bolzen. These massive guns fire not bullets, but rather small explosive shells using experimental rocket propellant. It is an immensely powerful and hard-to-use weapon, demanding the kind of strength only given to the Emperor's chosen. Star Knight armor. A combination of Diamond Dog and Griffin technology as well as Pony magic that has resulted, a combination of Diamond Dog and Griffin technology as well as Pony magic, which has resulted in a type of armor stronger than that of both Iron Balls and Griffin Knights, which demands preternatural strength from its user. In other words, only Space Marines, Star Knights can use this tech. It's mind-boggling golden. It's mind-boggling crazy. Anyways, we could train more Star Knights, but we, kinda sorta don't have the material. As you can see. We don't have the armor, we don't have the weapons. We need to get that shit. We need a lot of metal and crystals for that. What is your purpose here, General? The Arch-Rector asked as Ferdinand Dawnclaw came striding into the great laboratory. Take note, everybody. Under normal circumstances, like in a normal playthrough, Ferdinand would go out of his way to lead a soldiers' revolt against the Griffonian Empire. Whether or not he would succeed would be entirely up to you. If he succeeded and he survived long enough, he would, well, let's just say he would do something terrible to Grover's son. And leave it at that. Preoccupied with his experiments, the Arch-Rector nevertheless noticed the general in the corner of his eye. You're proving yourself day by day, Arch-Rector, Ferdinand told him, from a dingy basement in Gamia where they were hiding you away because you had tenure, but had managed to alienate everyone else, to this. The gods really favor the bold, do they not? There is only one god, and he sits upon the crystal throne. I did my part. You should be out there doing yours. Why are you here? Only one god, is there? Okay, let me check. Oh, yeah, I'm loud enough. Okay, pardon. I feel like this is still too loud. Might be overtaking the game. There's only one god, is there? Dawnclaw asked as he approached, dragging his claws along the table. A brave statement. His power is not that absolute yet, is it? And he only is because of your technology. Have you made a god? And who gave you the right to choose? What are you... Ah! Belisar was stopped from replying when Dawnclaw's knife bit deep into his chest. The frail old Griff grabbed his assailant's claw, trying to pry the knife out of himself to no avail. I spent decades of my life serving that wretch, only to have him reanimated by your sorcery, Dawnclaw hissed. And now he has the gall to deny me your enchantments. He shoved the old Arch-Rector back, making him crash into one of the tables and drop limply to the ground. I'm done dancing to that corpse's tune. If there is to be only one god, it'll be one of my choosing. Dawnclaw turned to the table to begin rummaging around it. It all lay scattered in piles around the lab, and yet the Arch-Rector had been fastidious about his notes. Lifting the documents from the table, Dawnclaw chuckled darkly to himself. Turning around, he walked past the now still Belisar, and passed by the Star Knights that had been waiting outside, nodding for them to follow him. We're heading to Cloudberry. This man is Horus to the Emperor's, Emperor. Gets me thinking about the story behind Horus's betrayal. Oh man, we're losing people. We're losing people. Oh. Make them suffer. There are technicians in the Imperium who are willing to work for little pay and will work very effectively. Maybe they have a few bright ideas on how to work the traitors? Oh dear. The Dawnclaw heresy. The Imperium has proven itself rotten to the core. Not enough that the supposedly loyal nobles of the Hearthland took the first chance to declare independence. Not enough that the temples proved themselves committed to only their power, and that all their oaths count for nothing. Treason has crept into the very heart of the resurgent Imperium, and the great Arch-Rector Dominus Belisar Bozen was nearly killed. He was assaulted in his laboratory and stabbed almost to death by General Ferdinand Dawnclaw, who absconded with not only the formulas for the Star Knight enhancements and the blueprints for their weapons, but several hundred Star Knights as well. These vile traitors have fled north to the Republicans and have seized control of the region, as if to spit in the Emperor's face. They are proudly referring to themselves as the Dawnclaw Heresy, and proclaim to be the mar to the Emperor's divinity. The Republicans, terrified of the reawakened Emperor, have fallen in line behind Ferdinand Dawnclaw alongside countless Heartlander traitors who would rather throw in their lot with this heretic than face the Emperor's justice. Of all the sacrilege we have seen, nothing comes even close to this treacherous general and his blatant heresies. Tempting to, at this point we could either continue to play as the Imperium of Griffin-Kine or play as the Dawnclaw Heresy. But, yeah, no. No thanks. I am playing as the Emperor of Man. Thank you very much. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Can't justify war yet. We're trying to rebuild the Empire in the Emperor's image. His glorious image. His godly image. Let me see here. Looks like everything's squared away. Alright. Just I'll be checking like on the stream every now and then, make sure everything's okay. Why am I doing this in portrait mode? For the sake of phones everywhere. Get the confessions. We know they are guilty. They will not admit it, but they are. They will confess. Basically, everyone gets removed. Everyone! all of the freaking, religious people get ousted. They're going to get yeeted. Yeeted so hard, they're going to feel it in the next generation. I wish I could rename this. War is being waged elsewhere whilst we are dealing with our own shit. Alright. Hold on, I am curious. Let me check something. We need that. We're gonna need that because, oh dear, that's gonna be a problem if we don't do something. Alright. Ooh, I could do that. Alright, get this out of the way here. Through the revival of the Death of the Temples. I had to make sure I'm writing it right. Through the revival of the Emperor upon the Crystal Throne. No. Though the revival of the Emperor upon the Crystal Throne has left the Empire shaken and fraying, it has left the temples decapitated. Having called his peers to Griffinheim on the eve of the Emperor's placement on the throne, Archon Aros the Seventh lies dead alongside Archon Proteus and Archon Aaron. In one sudden swoop, the religious leadership of the Empire had been eliminated. The gas. Though the prelates are rushing back and forth trying to reinstate the temple's leadership, the chaos that the Hearthland was left in has made their efforts hollow. Worse than that, as the Emperor is restoring order, many of these prelates have reasserted their independence from imperial authority. In response, the Emperor has ordered all prelates of the Hearthland to be brought before him, behind locked doors, and with the bronze custodian standing guard, he has spoken with them, telling them of what he saw in the mist. The exact words that passed between them are unknown, yet in its wake, several prelates have bowed their heads, and the three temples are now steadily being merged under him into one greater organization. The temporal and spiritual authority now both lie with the Emperor, and bickering clergy will never again undermine the unity of the Imperium. What did he see in that fog? Don't know if we'll find out or not, honestly. Pardon me. We are getting ready. Hearts and minds. I forgot to read this. The Emperor is not unreasonable, and those who come before him or his voice, genuinely penitent, will earn their place once more. Those who come before him with false plans or hidden agendas, however, will pay. The Emperor knows their hearts and their minds, and he will judge them. Weakness is not treason per se, but failure to carry out one's duty is to betray one's oath all the same. The weak serve only one purpose for us, a warning to others. Oh. So Ebonwing and I think we're going to need to switch this up. You know, just to be safe. You know? Heck of a good thing I chose not to invest into the previous field marshal. Martin, had this cough for a couple days now. Welcome. Nice. Alright. Fate of the unworthy. Below our claws in the streets and houses, the whispers of treason and deceit flourish. Even after the mist, they still continue. They will be found, they will be disposed of in a fitting manner as befits those vermin. Uh-oh. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, this is gonna hurt bad. Get the rest of the Imperial Knights going. Get some infantry equipment. We gotta get troops. We gotta get troops. And not just Star Knights. A few regular ones too. Armed forces serve one purpose, being an extension of the Emperor's will. There can be no doubt and no hesitation about this. And outside interests and forces have no place here. Sorry, Thrax. You're bestling, but you gotta go. Yeah, the changeling griffin attache that would normally tie us with the changeling lands all the way to the west. It's about to be removed. Blue Moon Festival, that's standard fare. Alright, I am suspecting Rumble. Alright, I think I may just record the rest of this because... Yes, hello. Okay, this is a great way to stop. Like right here. Okay, great place to stop this stream. Because I'm going to record the rest of this. Meanwhile, in another timeline, not this one, the door to the throne room in the Castle of Friendship burst open, revealing a disheveled looking purple unicorn. No, not alicorn, unicorn, so early season, covered in loose scrolls and dust. Sorry, I was just trying to find more information about, well, Rarity waved a hoof to alleviate Twilight's panicked demeanor. Oh, don't fret, my dear. I'm sure you'll find out where the friendship map wants us to go. Concern it. Don't let map know that this is a lousy time for our friendship problem, grumbled Applejack, as she observed all 6 of the gathered ponies' cutie marks hovering over what was clearly not a map of Equus, but rather an unfamiliar golden brown world. It looks scary, murmured Fluttershy. Pinkie Pie, on the other hoof, could not take her eyes off the slowly spinning globe. Hey, Twilight, is this gonna be like that place where the things happen? Pinkie, you're a genius! Interrupted Twilight, causing Pinkie to grin wildly. If I can readjust the spell matrix for the mirror portal, I can get us to I can get us to the place where this friendship problem is. Twilight removed the scrolls from herself and ignited her horn, humming as her magical aura encompassed the enchanted map. Then her eyes suddenly lit up. Hey, I think I figured out where the map wants us to go. Oh yeah? said Rainbow Dash as she squinted her eyes, trying to make out any details of the odd-looking plant hovering over the planet. Twilight nodded, then addressed all of her friends. We need to solve a friendship problem in a world called Holy Terra. Okay, I must stop the stream and start recording, because I expect, well, let's just say you know how it is with kids. This is fun. Like, This is just me reading lore. I wonder if I should like do like reading streams. I mean like reading stories and lore and stuff. I'll figure something out. Anyways, you all